But we're about to get into Asake's album, like a sophomore, a full-length sophomore from the artist of the year last year. Undoubtedly, the breakout acts from the year. This man did crazy things. Like, it goes without saying what Asake has done for the entire landscape. Sonically, even speaking, he has been a huge influence with what he has done with Magic Sticks, and put out a modern classic with Mr. Money with the Vibes. Had a crazy run of singles leading into that we've never seen before. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Oloru, let's go. Facts.
I'm gonna be me, she be not good. Carry me from down straight to the top.
I know, taking us to church. You hear the organs now, come on. Ghetto gospel, let's go. Okay, man, that's what you call an intro right there, man. Oloru is the intro for this one. Like, and it's very clear from the title. And like, it's not him, it's God at the end of the day. It's giving a lot of gratitude. And yeah, he's opening on that kind of tone, trying to give gratitude to the incredible year he had prior to this. And I think that's a nice tone to open up the album with. We can already see Magic Sticks coming there with his violins. How you guys feeling in the chat? 89%. I'm not mad at this intro whatsoever. Sorry. Wonder like Pasuma, wonder. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Many things I love you, shalaye. 2022, mo be one trabaye.
You did. All right, man. That was Awodi with this particular one. Again, this one was much more of a flexy tone as opposed to what we got in the intro that was paying more gratitude. And yeah, like, even though there were pockets that were fun, trust me, don't get me wrong, there were pockets that were fun. But from a second track, I was expecting a higher feeling or a more exciting feeling for the album. But anyway, how you guys feeling in the chat? You guys 77%. All right. Some people are already calling this mid. Okay. Jason is saying. Okay, next track is a single that we kind of know. I don't become uniform for my country. You know what I mean? Obviously taking subtle jabs, as we all know it, to the biggest form of impersonation that he has gotten. I already know who that is. 230 fellow. I'm sure it's already 230. But anyway, you guys are feeling 230, clearly 98%. I see that. Anyway, let's share it. Sunshine, track 4, let's go. Okay, it's 115. All right, we're good.
Be part of the struggle, no one. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
The sun's gonna shine on everything. Where's that from again? Hey, Lebo Illuminati. I know, I like that nod, man, to his OG. I love that. That was, hey, listen. So far, I mean, sure, we've heard these flows before, yes, okay. Down to the down to the down. On the CU. Like, we've heard this particular flow before, this particular cadence. Like, it's fine. All right, man. I'm not mad at that one. Sunshine. Definitely a lot more wholesome atmosphere he's coming here with. And I think, yeah, this is probably the most wholesome he has felt in a lot of ways. But then again, it's still in that Asake-esque or Asake Magic Sticks arena. It's still in that same soundscape, which I don't fault him for because it's their signature. But it's the 4th track into the album, and it's not really deteriorated or like taken away from, like, it's not really like brought the album into a new headspace. I don't think we've gotten that like impactful like pull away from what we already do know. So far, no outright surprises on the album. But again, this is a wholesome song, and I think he can absolutely like capitalize on the, I guess, radio potential or how far it can go or how much he can cut through many demographics because I can see kids gravitating to this. I can see it having a lot more like even plus 40 plus audience too can lean to this in some sense. But yeah, anyway, that's the only difference I would say that this kind of pulls off. Other than that, it's very much in that same vein and same headspace. But anyway, Sha, let's move on to the next song. Next song is Mogbe. Let's go. Okay. Man, we're endorsing Colorado now? He's talking about Loud, talking about Shayo, talking about Colorado. Like, and at the same time, he's making a romantic wedding anthem. Like, but anyway, I'm not too mad at it. It still makes for a very catchy hook. Oh, you're my bloody martini. I'm here. Ah, okay. I like that. Yeah, there were some really, really like love-centered moments from Mr. Money. It's not coming to me, but yeah, they definitely were there. But this one seems a lot more one bear and feel to it, and I'm not mad at it. Okay, I'm not mad at it. But anyway, Sha, how you guys feel about it? You got 78%, 78. Okay, 79%. That's fine. Muse was the song. Okay, yeah, I can see that. My issue right now is the sequencing on this album. I think it's making it a drag for the opener of the album. So far, it feels like a drag, which, again, this is the first spin. That's the experience. That's the tone. And I'm going to make that clear because at the end of the day, I can come back to the songs and like be able to like navigate the album and be able to pick my favorites and see how I'm flowing through the album. But if it comes down to from the top, can I spin this from the top down to the bottom, how it was sequenced? Probably not so far. But anyway, that was Mogbe, track 5.
24, she be a tell them before me, then stop to defend for. She like,
yeah, I hate to say it for Asake, but it is true. The flows, man. The flows, bro. He's rinsed that. But again, it might come around and make it a decent song. But yeah, let's run it again though. Let's see.
Walking poetry, I am
walking poetry. Let's go. I mean, even though we're hearing a flow that we're familiar with, there's a reason why it got to that point because it's actually a good flow. How about that? I think it's fun. I think it's very playful. And yeah, like I'm getting that, at least that feeling that I'm really itching for this album so far. And I think I'm getting that from this song, but like this particular song right now. But let's roll it though.
I'm guilty. That's my swag, get a kill. I don't go up you. No, it's hard to swallow the pew.
No. Okay, like definitely making it clear that he's a rapper. I mean, it's been clear for a minute. But Basquiat's a very strong rap moment because, yeah, not as cookie cutter, not as clean as the other choruses that we've heard, like Mogbe or even Sunshine. This one is it's very rap heavy. And again, Braggadosha is the point here. Okay, 95%. Let's move on to next record, Amapiano, definitely the single, the focus track of this album. Amapiano, I'm happy, I know, as many people try to remind me of the song. You're bringing the bar too low for them for that to be like a crazy Shakespeare moment. But it makes for a fun record, even though, granted, if you type Amapiano right now, Asake is going to be the face of it. And that just reads funny to me, you know what I mean? But then again, that's another conversation that we can spend a different entire day. We kind of had it on the space for a short while. Next up, we have What's Up My G.
Only what's up my G. I'm young but I'm free. I spend money like young Galaji, but I be big Galaji.
Tell me that was a verse. Please tell me that was a verse. Please tell me that was a verse. Because it looks like he's about to start a verse, meaning that wasn't a verse. I'm scared, bro. A structure like that. I mean, I get it. Asake has broken the mode of how choruses are really structured, and that's one thing that he has made a very clear statement. I've said it time and time again, especially with how he did Palazzo. Palazzo is one of the most balanced hook you could ever get from a very rapidy rap hook, and still be simple enough, or at least in a pocket that carries you along, that you're connected with, as opposed to what we're getting right now. What we're getting right now is very intense, very heavy. let me see what he's saying, bro. Let's go. Oh my gosh, overcooking. Okay, Hilda. I mean, that song was 90% chorus right there, man. That was crazy. I've never seen that's a heck of a structure he had with this particular song. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for him to really stack up his choruses, to be very, very intense. But this one is nuts. This one is on a different level. Okay. I know this gospel. Listen, man. I mean, the sentimental songs are definitely gonna come. This is another one that is obviously tapping into that same vein, and I'm here for it. I believe it's the hook. It's very clear. There's the very, very concise hook for this song, and I'm here for it, man. No. Okay. He said, "Again, why did they call me landlord?" I believe. This album kind of needs some features. I'm not going to lie. A particular song like this, a message will slap. I'm kidding. But no, seriously, I feel like on a real note, I could definitely could hear some voices now. Some other voices, as opposed to what we got Olamide, but we've gotten Olamide already. You know what I mean? We've gotten Olamide, even though we got vocals from Olamide, but we've already gotten Olamide, if you know what I mean. Definitely a lot more catchy, a lot more concise with where the structure is, as opposed to what we got with What's Up My G. I could even take this as a closer. Even it had this very victory lap kind of beauty to it. Anyway, introduction is the next song. Could this be another wedding song or wedding introduction? I don't know, man. Let's find out. That was underwhelming. The hook. I mean, granted, his inflections are very, very heartfelt. You can definitely see him singing his ass off on the background vocals of that hook. But attention, BT Chinese. I did follow you talk. Attention, BT Chinese. Guys, help me with that one. Attention, BT Chinese. The Chinese army? Okay, green. What are you saying, bro? That's out of line. That's out of pocket. Bro. Okay, probably just referring to a kung fu pose. That makes more sense. Even though it's very that makes way more sense than what this nigga was. That this nigga was kind of insinuating. That makes more sense. Attention bit to Chinese, I guess. But that's so ignorant at the same time, but still. Anyway, Sha. That's funny. Anyway, let's all right. That was not. Yeah, for P Prime to come here and not P Prime the song, I was on the one low key. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I definitely love the dynamic intro into the album, there was a beat pause that was very, very exciting. But that drop was not a bit of a letdown because it really, really pulled it back to what was already familiar on the album. Is it just me? But 14 tracks feels kind of stretched out. Again, the dynamics of it. The dynamics of it is what's making this album feel a lot more lengthy than it really ought to feel. 14 tracks is not a long album. It doesn't feel like a long album. It shouldn't feel like a long album. But we're in track 11 and I'm kind of there's a fatigue here from this experience. And I just noticed that. I just noticed that right now, man. It definitely has to be one. Was Wonderco backing him for a second right there? Somebody was backing him. Like, that sounded very good.
I know say you want some more. Mr. Money with the vibe, you know I know they don't.
Okay. I like that. Just going abrasive, but there's a very, very clear fun pocket here that I think Remember tends to pull you back into. Like, it's a lot more romantic too. Like, he's flexing a lot of you guys relax on the pole, man. I'm putting it up. Damn. And but that particular pocket where it goes dun 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 dun, it was a distinctful like difference to pull you away from the, I guess, the fatigue of the flows or something that we've heard before. I think that definitely gave it some character, gave it an identifier, which I absolutely appreciated on this particular song from the pile of songs that we've heard so far. Next track is Lonely at the Top, okay? Oh, this feels like a breath of fresh air right now. Oh, this feels like a breath of fresh air so far. Yeah, I think it's obvious why. It's very obvious why it is a breath of fresh air into the song, into the album. Would have loved for this to come earlier, man. But yeah, but let's go. Like, push this to the forefront of the album. Like, push this kind of record, you know, it just feels like such an outlier right now, and so put away that, bro, this could have come way earlier into this album experience, man. Definitely could have come a lot earlier. Yeah, man, you can definitely distinctly hear the difference that what is bringing on this particular song. Obviously, yeah, there's a lot more some more vintage juju and highlight flair to it that you just want to like, that feels very, very rooted and like, it's just a different atmosphere. It's just a different atmosphere from what we've gotten used to on this particular album. And it's clear cut that this would have saved that narrative or that feeling or that fatigue that this album definitely comes with, because that's a fact. You can't deny it. You might pretend to deny it, even though, trust me, no one loves Asake past me. You can't deny it. You can't deny that it's some form of fatigue with the structure, or at least the sequence of this album. Look at the guitar now. Let's go. Who produced this, please? Blaze Beats. It's showing. It's obvious when other producers come into the picture. Not to say, like, again, Magic 6 was excellently pulled off being the forefront of being over the entire album the last time. It showed a lot more range. Is it crazy that I think what did a disservice to this album was probably Magic 6? But it hurts me that Magic 6 is probably what hurt this album. And that sounds wild to say because Magic 6 is the sauce, bro. But what do you guys think about that? Because I think that's what I'm feeling from this album so far. I think what sets this apart from Mr. Money with the Vibes, granted, that was the first instance we were getting that sound in such a scale. Granted, okay, I'll give them that. Because this sophomore effect will obviously be there. But I think, yeah, Magic 6 showed a lot more range there, showed a lot more versatility to the point where Asake was still challenged in a lot of ways. And I don't think Magic 6 challenged Asake enough on this album. And I would have loved to see a lot more flex for Magic 6. A lot more like, yeah, even though we got a beautiful intro, but damn, after that, it was oof. So consistent, no resistance, sure. Ooh, transition, okay. I actually love that. I love what they did there. I love that because I remember when your guy first came, even though I don't hate that sample had a lot of, not necessarily, I don't even know if it's a sample. But yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah, I don't know if that sample was what's it called? It was kind of stretched out in the beginning for that particular song, and it took a minute until the song essentially picked up. But what they did here is to embed it into the outro of the previous song, Great Guy, and clearly cut up into the points where it's just him going off with Yoga Yoga, I did on my way. Anyway, I think I think this is a cool album, man. But there's a lot to be said. Definitely a lot to be said about this album. But this particular song, Great Guy, very, very redundant. It feels very redundant. This particular tone, or at least a vibe that I would have seen to be at least be scraped or not necessarily serving the album whatsoever. I don't think it's elevated, at least at this point of the experience, at this point of the album. I don't think it's adding much value to the particular album. But then again, it's another decent record from the staples of Magic 6 and Asake as well. And I'm not too mad at that. But we get an outro with Yoga, and we're familiar with Yoga Yoga is the song I Did On My Way. We already know it. We've been there. I absolutely love that song. Very spiritual, very inspirational again. Demaya, nobody comes to my vibe. Nobody comes to my yoga, where I'm going right now. And I think that, beautiful sentiments, beautiful way to see the album out. I think it makes for a good outro, and I'm not mad at that. Granted, man, works of art, Asake. Final remarks for this one. First off, the idea of us getting an album so recent from the release of his debut album. In this climate, I can understand him wanting to pick up on momentums and building on it. He's in the YBNL staples. It's cut of that same gene of Olamide, where they're releasing albums every year, very proactive in terms of releasing music, keeping their fans engaged no matter what. So it's I can understand all those things and why we're getting an album. Going to the album, he just wants to get the pressure off. The pressure of a sophomore, to see if, oh my God, can he do it again? Was that a fluke? Was that question can be mentally straining for any artist that had such a fantastic year. There's not a perfect album whatsoever. Like, it's Asake, is making elite music, is making the music of today. Then again, how you're putting together your choices of songs, how you're sequencing them, that's the biggest thing, really. He's not as stretched out, he's not as provocative as it got. Like, listen to Sumo Me, listen to Doll, listen to Muse. Like, there was a lot of listen to Unzanza, just in comparison to what Magic 6 did on that album. I'm saying there was a huge contrast with where Magic 6 kind of led this album into, as opposed to there's a huge contrast between Mr. Money with the Vibes and what we're getting now. Definitely didn't favor Asake in terms of how it picks up or how it generates off these beats. And that was what pulled away from the experience of the album. But my absolute favorites, my absolute jams, the songs that I love to hear from, still leaning towards 230 and Sunshine for this wholesomeness. And then we have Lonely at the top. Lonely at the top, a breath of fresh air. Songs essentially that feel kind of redundant or not really clear cut in where they're serving the album. Great Guy is a good example. Introduction as well. Those were songs that were not really stellar moment. And What's Up My G, I don't absolutely hate it, but it's just too wordy. It's too chaotic for me to enjoy. Almost feels like a Shea Vibes moment. Definitely makes up the points that maybe features were needed here. People that would probably evoke a different feeling or make it a lot more dynamic would have saved this album experience. With that being said, my rating for this particular album, going into my first listen or going out of my first listen, it sounded like a 7. At best, a 7.5 on this album. And I think that's where it sits right now for me. Definitely my first listen on the first spin on the album. Let me know how you guys feel about it when you're watching this later on, either on Patreon or on the main channel. Appreciate everybody here that's been here with your boy. We've definitely put the Ekiti Guinness World Record numbers on this live stream, and I appreciate everyone that tuned in and has been here from the